First thing first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. Now that we've seen the episode, well, for those of us who have seen it, how do y'all feel about the big reveal? Once again, I love when they do the flashbacks in black and white. But okay, I was like, look, Martin didn't come to mess around, y'all. He didn't come to mess around. He was swinging whatever that thing called. I was calling it a crowbar. I don't think it's called a crowbar, is it? What was that thing called that you changed the tire with? But yeah, he ain't come to mess around. Who they thought they was. But yeah, I was like, so basically, it was self-defense turned murder. Excuse me. It was self-defense turned murder, y'all. But okay, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Anita. She came home. She back again. She's back again. Somebody was calling her. I'm assuming that it was Sharon or Tracy or somebody. Well, yeah, she back. She came to the house. She was looking for Vernon, looking for somebody, but nobody was there. Nobody was there. But by the end of the episode, Vernon ends up showing up, and he tried to play things off. She was like, she could tell something's going on by his face. So he ends up telling her, it's about Martin, the dude from 2 years ago. He's back. It's back or whatever. But I don't think he fully got to explain everything that's going on. So maybe we'll see it on tomorrow's new episode. We'll see. Bill, Vernon, Martin. So they talking and stuff like that. And by their conversation, I'm like, okay, like, Martin, you don't know, you ain't put two and two together. The man didn't just pop up dead now. I was like, wait a minute, Martin. So you don't know that they don't took this man out? Cause he was saying, he was like, I was just about to throw my whole life away. He was talking about how he was just about to throw his whole life away and stuff like that by doing the press conference and stuff. And Bill was trying to spin it like it was a robbery. Bill was calling it a robbery, but Vernon, they showed him having a flashback. So apparently, because I asked y'all yesterday, I was like, was Kendall smiling? He was smiling. Malone comes up behind him. They did a replay. Malone ends up coming up behind him and putting the weapon in his side or whatever. And I said he dropped that smile real fast, didn't he? But yeah, Bill was calling it a robbery. Then Martin, I think he got his phone or whatever, and he checked the time, and he seen what time that the photo came through. He was like, he came through at the perfect time. So he started talking about, so he want to come forward. Y'all took away my right, or whatever. Y'all know I always say, I hate for somebody to take away my right to choose. And that's basically what Martin was saying, y'all. He was saying how that was the one thing he got to do or whatever, and they took it away from him and just saying and bringing up everything he did or whatever. Bill was trying to say that the threat is gone, you know, you can relax or whatever. The press over there, they over there talking amongst themselves and stuff, talking about some, they said it was a family emergency, but nobody has rushed out. Then they started calling Smitty. I said, y'all snitches. They gonna call Smitty. Told that Martin was holding a press conference, but then he didn't have it. He canceled it. Trying to get some information out of Smitty. That's what they trying to do. They're gonna call Smitty, trying to get information out of him or whatever. But yeah, Martin was upset because he feels like he wanted to come forward. He still want to come forward. So they were trying to talk him down and stuff. So he was like, what's going on? And then he put two and two together. I was like, nah, Martin, you didn't know that they already done told you what they was gonna do. They done already told you. But yeah, he figured out that they don't murder the man. Allegedly, because they love to bring folks back. Allegedly, we're gonna say allegedly he did. But yeah, Martin left. Wait, let me see. Yeah, Martin ends up leaving or whatever. Smitty, Samantha, Terrell, and Martin. So he comes home and they just standing there. And he was like, he wanted to talk to Smitty alone. He about to explain things. That ends today. No more secrets. And Smitty was like, no, they not going nowhere. They deserve to know too. So then Samantha was like, yeah, if you want to talk, if that's what you want, you know, you could talk to him alone or whatever. So she hugged him and she convinced Terrell to go too. They went upstairs. That's how I know they heard this. I know they heard this. But yeah, so then that's when we finally found out what happened. So he was like, I'm gonna tell you everything. So he sat down, he ends up telling him basically self-defense turned murder. Self-defense turned murder. He was with Vernon. They was coming from an event, if I'm not mistaken. And he ends up getting a flat tire, so he got out to change it or whatever. The dude, first they went past them, then they bagged up or whatever. They got out. That's when Vernon got out. I said Vernon must knew something was about to happen. So then next thing you know, they was like, they tried to act like they was about to help or whatever, help change the tire. They was like, no, they got it or whatever. Then things just went so fast, it went south. It went south or whatever. I don't know. I think they had grabbed Vernon. They was punching Vernon. It looked like they was trying to pull out a weapon and stuff. Till Martin got the swing. I said, Martin didn't come to mess around, did he? What's that thing called that you change the tire with? He beat the mess out of them. He was hitting them and stuff. I said, Martin didn't come to mess around. He was telling Smitty how he blinked out. I said, I bet you did. He was covered in blood and stuff. But yeah, Vernon ends up trying to stop him. Then Vernon was the one that called Malone. Vernon ends up calling Malone or whatever. Malone brought along Elon, and that's when they pulled Martin back from the guy or whatever. I skipped the part. Martin murdered Kenneth's brother. So yeah, when he said my brother would be, if my brother was here or whatever, I was like, I knew it, I knew it. So yeah, self defense turned murder. And I said they made things worse, didn't they? Now I don't think they would have got out of that so easily, but either way it go, they made things worse. They said that Bill somehow, cause I don't think he got to finish telling Smitty what happened, cause he didn't say how Bill got involved. But yeah, Bill was the one that brought Joey in, and they had to pay off Malone for him to shut up and keep quiet. That's what happened, y'all. Self-defense turned murder. Self-defense turned murder or whatever. But like I said, he didn't get to finish telling the other part because Smitty was like, he understand. Wait, let me make sure. Because first he hugged him. Or whatever. But then Martin ends up saying how Kenneth had been around for weeks now. He was like, wait a minute. He been around for weeks and you still didn't say anything? Hold on. He been around for weeks, but you still didn't say anything. And he was trying to explain himself, stuff like that. But he was like, he understand why he didn't tell him 2 years ago. He understand. He felt like he had to protect Vernon and all this other stuff, and he wouldn't wish what happened to them on anybody. But because you didn't say anything about what was going on recently, you gotta go. He's like, you gotta go. There go your bags, get out. No, that ain't what he said, but he basically said, you allowed this dangerous man to come around our kids who endanger us, so you gotta go because he gonna be still looking for you. I was like, wait a minute, Smitty. I was like, wait a minute, Smitty now. I mean, you ain't wrong, but at the same time, you wrong because obviously it's not gonna matter if Martin there or not. Because y'all still gonna be connected to him. That's just like Sonny on General Hospital. They like, if you go away or whatever, stay away from me. Doesn't matter. Y'all still related. They still know y'all connected. What the world? Then what else happened? So he was like, no, whatever. He's trying to make him allow him to stay or whatever. He's like, they no longer in danger because Kenneth dead. The look on Smitty's face, I was like, yeah, you definitely up out of there now. You might as well go and get those suitcases again. He gonna ask you what happened or whatever. I was like, yeah, Smitty ain't going for that. I'd be shocked if he let him stay. I was like, you don't seal the deal. You got to get up out of here. He was like, you got to get up out of here. Is this the type of person you are? Y'all know what they be saying. I see, yeah, Smitty go say, there go your bags. There go the dough too. Okay, what else? Vanessa Joey Malone. Vanessa wanted to know what the Duprees are wrapped up in because she could tell that Bill showed Martin something on the front. I said, you don't know. I've been saying for the longest. I was like, you don't get it. You don't get who Joey is, but something tells me eventually you gonna see. Hopefully. She over here kissing him in public. I'm like, Doug, come get your wife, because what the world? You supposed to hide it. If you're gonna have an affair, you supposed to hide it. They over here broadcasting it, but at the same time, Doug kind of knows, and he ain't doing nothing. But yeah, she questioning him, fishing for information about what the Duprees wrapped up in. He like, you sure you can handle it? So he told her they had to dispose of a body. I said, why would you go say a thing like that to Chatterbox? She gonna go tell somebody else. Like, yeah, they said, Joey said he had to dispose of a body. So then she kept talking to him, wanted to know more. Malone showed up. And she started talking to Malone, implying she knows stuff. She's talking about Joey already told her about disposing about. She already started chit-chatting and talking too much. If he just told you that, why would you go saying anything? You didn't know if Malone knew or not, but she knew they was buddies, though. So she kept on going at Malone, talking crazy. And he was like, so this is who you impressed with? This is the woman you want? Or something he said to her. So then she just kept on. And Joey was telling her to be quiet, to stop. She's like, you're not in charge, I'm in charge. So he yelled at her. Whatever. I said, about doggone time. That's about time, Joey, because she don't know who you is, Joey. Yeah, he yelled at her or whatever. And she, the look on her face, she's like, I got to get up out of here. Because she's like, I'm going to just leave y'all alone to talk or whatever. I said, I bet you is. So then Joey's like, no, there's no reason for you to go or whatever. Malone and him basically let each other know that the business was handled. Malone ends up leaving. So these fools over here just kissing, just standing in Orphan Jeans kissing and stuff. I'm like, Doug, divorce her. That's what the world going on. We're out here. Yeah, they just stand up there kissing and stuff. I was like, you missed your chance. You should have got up out of here. What they be saying all the time in these situations? If I tell you, I had to murder you. What did they say? How did they say it? I would tell you, but I had to, the K. I ain't gonna say the K word because they'll flag me. But murder, the same thing. I was like, yeah, you missed your opportunity. I had to get up out of there, girl. He don't let you. Oh, I skipped the part. He told her he liked that she has a smart mouth and stuff like that, but the thing about it, you need to know when to stop. He basically told her, If you don't stop, I'm going to stop you. And this fool over here kissing him. I was like, he don't warn you. This your first warning now. No, that's the second warning, because he warned her that day. Remember the episode where she told him to let Randy go? And he told her never to get involved again? This the second time, girl. 3 strikes you out. Hold on. Vernon and Bill. Yeah, what was they talking about? Vernon was upset because of how they handled the situation, because he didn't want violence involved. He thought that Bill understood, and Bill was telling him the same thing he been told him. You acting like you holier than thou and you above us or above me or whatever, but you the one came to me. You beg for my help or whatever, and just saying how he's no better than the rest of them. I mean, he not. And I'm sure he got more skeletons in their closet. I said that from the jump. I said, I can tell right now. All these folks got secrets. And boy, do they got secrets. Hold on. But Bill, to me, I said, Bill seemed like he got secret animosity for how Vernon and them been treating him. He was like, you the he's always getting into something. And y'all think y'all so much better than everybody else. And he over here pouting and stuff at the doggone restaurant. And here come Danny. I said, Danny, you got a tracker on him or something? She showed up. But I did say, he be a lot calmer when Haley not around. When it comes to Danny, they don't be arguing or nothing like that. I was like, yeah, you playing both sides, Bill. You playing both sides. She over here like she know that he glad that she's there, so he can confide in her. They was talking about Vernon and stuff like that. Something he said to her. He chewed her. I said that wrong. He was telling her that her daddy chewed him out or whatever, and she's like, well, Daddy said it really got to you, didn't you? Excuse me. Then she was just saying how they usually work well together, go together real good, and all this other stuff. But yeah, I was like, he a lot calmer when Haley not around. I know she be trying to trick him into doing stuff and saying stuff to Danny, obviously. And that's another thing they talked about. Cause when she first sat down, they started talking about Haley or whatever, and she was like, she the one came to me. I ain't go to her. She the one came to me. I said, exactly. Ask yourself, why is she over there? Why? And not just why was she over there? She said she seen your car in the driveway, which means she waited until you left to come in. Why was she there to begin with? And why did she wait? Yeah, but then he was trying to explain to him, she came over there for a reason. She came over there for a reason, whatever. She showed up on her own. I said, exactly. Definitely did. But yeah, they had a nice little conversation. But on tomorrow's episode, they're going to be arguing again. Now, I don't know, I'm just talking. But that's usually how it happened. They'll have a nice little conversation, a nice little sit down. Next thing you know, they'll be back at it. Hold on. But yeah, what's that, everybody? We already talked about Vernon and Bill. Martin and Smitty, we already talked about that. The last thing was he revealed that Kenneth was dead, and the look on Smitty's face. Anita knew that something was going on. Vernon tells Anita that everything that happened 2 years ago came back and Martin's drowning. I said, true that. He might as well go turn himself in, because he's still probably going to be having those nightmares. But I think that's everything, y'all. Let me scan these notes to make sure. But how do y'all feel about the big reveal? They had already said it was a hate crime. They had already showed some of it. Some people had pieced together what had happened anyways. But yeah, it was okay. Let me see. Bill said maybe next. Oh yeah, Bill had said to Vernon that maybe next time he won't help, and he was saying also, Kenneth would have just kept coming back. I said the same. I said he definitely would have. He did, just like on General Hospital over here. All the blackmail. I was like, why they keep letting these folks blackmail them like that? Obviously, it ain't working. Drew done blackmail Portia, what, 4 or 5 times? He keep blackmailing her. Then I said, well, we'll top all this off is if she actually changed Michael test results, and then he still turned her into the police. I said, that's what she'll get. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Oh, wait. If y'all watch Tyler Perry's Sister, it come on tonight. I think it come on tonight, y'all. But yeah, that's it. Stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.